Okay, super stoked here. I'm with the SUP junkie Sarah from Great Britain. Just done an awesome job here the last few days commentating. But what we are really wondering here is because she has the eye and the ears and is the voice of the Great Britain SUP scene community. Yeah, so tell us, I want to hear more about what's going on in Great Britain, where and who and how and why and what.
Oh my goodness, so I have been involved in the SUP scene in Great Britain since 2012, raced for 5 years, and since then I've been commentating, doing live feed, doing a mini Mathieu Mr. Total SUP on the GB SUP scene. There's an awful lot going on. There's been a great series called the GB SUP National Series, which has run very, very well and successfully for many years. Numbers have gone up and down, you know, COVID and all that malarkey. Pretty level at the moment, but the series is growing. They've got great sponsorship from Black Project. But there are other standalone races which are coming out as well and proving popular in terms of numbers, higher than the GB SUP National Series, because obviously it's a one standalone event. You've got things like the Super Champs, and you've got SUP 12, which is a 12-hour race, which has been inspired by this very place here, Last Paddler Standing. You've got Race to the Castle, which is up in Nottingham, which has got a huge amount of numbers this year, 360 people going. Oh, you've got so many, but the other thing that we're trying to promote as well is the juniors, because that is the future, as we've seen here today. But there's an awful lot going on, and can I just promote my race calendar for the UK? If ever you want to come and race, please look at my race calendar, which is linked to my bio on my social media sites, so SUPjunkie.uk on Facebook and Instagram, and it's at the top of the page, and obviously on my website, SUPjunkie.co.uk. So that will show you all the races. We've got some cracking races. We've also got some great events. We had a great event called the Trent 100, which was 100 kilometres over 2 days. I think a lot of people who've been racing for years want to also do those bigger adventures and be inspired by adventuring and longer distances. So huge amount going on in Great Britain for sure, and all around the country as well, right down to the tip down at St Ives. There's a great race there called the Celtic Cup, and way up north to a place called Whitley Bay, where you've got something called the Big Dipper. It's a very healthy scene.
So lots going on. The Great Britain had a rather large team here, and now from my perspective, just thinking about it, the last great export paddler, so to speak, was Mary Buchanan from back in the day, and then now we have the names that come to my mind, of course, now is Blue Ewer. We have also, and I don't know if you can speak on her behalf, but I was kind of expecting Holly Pye to see here. She's a name that I keep, you know, I'm sitting on a little island just looking online who's coming up, and her name is coming up a lot lately, but she wasn't here. And who else, where is, in terms of the competitive output of the Great Britain, where are we with that?
So just let's mention Marie Buchanan, the most decorated athlete in SUP for women, and she won 2 gold medals at this event last year in Thailand. And two silvers the year before, a gold and silver. She's been retiring for years but keeps coming back, but this year she's got new adventures. She's on the water all the time. She's just loving life, so let's let her be. And then you've got Blue Ewer, who has been here this week competing. He has done really, really well. He's had some, a little bit of bad luck and a bit of, it's learning all the time, isn't it? He is, again, one of our top male racer at the moment in the UK, but out in Europe all the time, done the Euro Tour, finished 5th on the Euro Tour. Amazing. Holly Pye, yes, absolutely brilliant young lady. She did back-to-back, race? Fort Boyard. She was queen of Fort Boyard this year, and she went to Denmark and performed very, very well with the team. She's decided to save her money. She did the ISAs in Denmark, and she thought there are going to be similar athletes here. She knows her place in the world. Let's save that money, because she's young, she's self-funded. She's obviously got support from her mother and father, but she's trying to be self-funded, so she's saving her money to go to Europe next year, which will stand her in good stead. When you're in Great Britain, you need to get yourself over to Europe and really pick yourself. You do. And then the other lady that we did have here actually was Ginny Betts, and she was predicted, I think I predicted 3 gold medals for that girl, because she is that talented. But unfortunately, she was struck down. She was taken to hospital the day before the racing, and she came down with a really nasty bout of influenza, and lots of the teams weren't very well. But she had something that was really quite nasty.
So lots going on in Britain. You think we're going to see more names coming out of Britain? Do you have any like hopefuls there in terms of that, or how are you guys developing?
Yeah, we've got some big hopefuls. We've got Hector Jessel. I don't know whether you've heard of Hector. Tall, strapping lad.
Sounds somewhat familiar. Yes, I think that came across.
Yeah. He's been out to different worlds and European events and does really well. Again, he's probably not competing here due to financials. We had young Will Keatley, who was here as well. And the other name I really want to push is Annabelle Page. So inspired a little bit by Ginny Betts, who's really helped her get on her way. Annabelle Page is an absolute force. Look out for this girl. She was competing in the Worlds at Denmark. She has not been stand-up paddling for very long. She's a SUP surfer, so she's got that strength, but she is training. And I said to her the other day, what do you want to achieve? And she said, I want to be a world champion. And she's good enough. The last race she did was lovely. Another great race, which is on everybody's hit list. 2 races back to back. There's Head of the Dart in the spring, which everybody goes to because it's like the first race. And also the UK Glarglar, which was inspired by the French Glarglar. And then the race at the other end of the season is Sup the Creek. And Annie Page went, and she was knocking on the door of the winner of the men. She overtook most of the men. This is how strong she is. Tiny little thing, super strong, been doing lots of training. But she was knocking on the door of Paul Simmons, who is one of the starboard distributor in the UK. He is a proper waterman. You know, I don't know how old he is, but I think he's just over 40 maybe. Sorry, Paul, if that's not the case. He is a strong paddler. He's a waterman. He's been around the water sports, windsurfing, foiling, everything. She's this little slip of a girl, and she's got this absolutely strong mindset. So watch this space. Cool. Annabelle Page from the UK, Annie Page, she is super focused, and she wants to be a world champion.
Wow, there you have it. So now you guys know what's going on in the Great Britain, and of course we are looking forward to next year's season and following along with Sarah doing such a great job and throwing her heart and soul into this. Just loving it, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much, and nice to meet you. First time we've met.
Yes,
so
I know,
at
isn't
last,
it? Right, yeah.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
aloha everybody.